a loss by a prominent squad member inside the Democrat Party. So Democrats coming out in droves in New York in the district where Jamaal Bowman was the congressman for 2 terms, but he will no longer be the congressman representing that district. And right now, as the votes are being totaled, he lost about 60-40. That is a blowout loss for the squad, who has raised a lot of money. He was an incumbent. He did some things that were, nuttier than just what he says is an anti-Semite, anti-Israel. He also pulled the fire alarm.
Started embarrassing your district. Probably.
Yes. Yeah. And I think he talks about the language he uses, because he uses foul language almost every time he speaks. So you wouldn't want children around him, and you get in trouble on the floor of the House if you keep using that kind of language. So, he's beeped out like everything he talks about. And I think people just over time, maybe he hit on a moment where there was like a little bit more of a interest in the squad. And once they started kind of hurting the economics of their community, like shutting down the Amazon plant that could have been there, brought all those jobs that AOC did, you realize that if you're not in the most radical of radical districts, you're not Ilhan Omar or AOC, the people figure you out pretty quick and you can be defeated. There's no sound when he's pulling the alarm, which we never got a good... He said he was having like an anxiety attack.
I'm not even sure that...
First he denied he did it. And then we had it on video. And then I think he said he was like having some kind of breakdown. He thought he could use maybe like the Fetterman defense, but that didn't work because he wasn't having a breakdown. And so he did that. And that kind of got him some national attention. But the squad, even after that, stuck with him. Didn't think, hey, maybe this guy's too much of a nut. Maybe we should go and find our own candidate in this primary.
Because the constituents clearly did.
Well, see, the constituents who are, again, this is going to be a Democrat district. And the Democrat who won, I think he was, 70 years old. He is a local and state political person. He was on the Rye City Council.
Yeah.
Probably very supportive of Israel, and was got a lot of support from pro-Israel, nonpartisan groups who go around the country and support candidates not based on Republican and Democrat, but really only on that issue. And of course, that'd be groups like AIPAC, and that's not AIPAC; it's affiliated. They're entities that are affiliated that are allowed to be involved in politics. But when you get beat 60-40 as an incumbent, it wasn't like he barely lost.
Yeah, that's beyond just someone made a donation and hopefully it did some damage.
No, but maybe this is why. Let's start with him screaming on stage. We had to bleep some of this out.
Yeah.
And what I love about these rallies are these are rallies that they say, bring everybody to. And remember, the average voter in a lot of these districts is 60-plus years old. Remember, that's still the case. So this kind of language
does not go over.
Doesn't go over well, and this kind of attitude.
I'm saying the language may in New York because they don't care, but the attitude,
the whole attitude,
the chaos of it.
The nastiness of this guy jumping around. I mean, we wish for all of you who are listening, you could see this with us, but I think you can imagine this is not a guy standing at a podium doing this. He is all over the stage like he is about to punch someone in the face. Take a listen and watch.
I am the hip-hop congressman. People ask me why I got a foul mouth. What am I supposed to do? You coming after me. You coming after my family. You coming after my children. I'm not supposed to fight back. I'm not supposed to fight back. We're gonna show them who the we are. Let me get the guns out again one more time.
This was a full-blown breakdown.
Full breakdown. Yeah.
This is a full-blown breakdown.
That's like conspiratorial. They're coming after my family. They have to be. Now, listen, you get in politics, you're going to have horrible things written about you. It doesn't matter what you are.
It will break you.
But if you are going to get involved in progressive and you're going to take extreme views, you better be ready to take the fire. Now, when he said take the guns out, thankfully, if you were just listening to that, he was talking about his own arms.
Yes.
And he's a hip-hop congressman. Well, he will be the hip-hop congressman for a few more months, and then he will be unemployed.
Yeah. He'll go work for MSNBC. It's fine. They'll put that as his Chiron. The hip-hop congressman.
But he had something to say. The hip-hop Jew-hating congressman.
And that's what we got here. We had sort of the next bite, right?
So this is after he found. So that was before he lost.
This was his concession speech last night. Who's he going to blame? Of course, there's only one category of people you got to blame.
We should be outraged when a super PAC of dark money can spend $20 million to brainwash people into believing something that isn't true. Even though AIPAC and their affiliates, don't boo, I know we want to boo them, don't boo, Boo!
Boo. All right, that's because he's worried he's not going to have
And by the
security
way,
anymore.
if it was such dark money, how does he know exactly how much money they spent?
Right.
It wasn't that much. I don't think AIPAC or anybody who was pro-Israel was. It was hard to figure out that they were not going to be supportive of this guy. They're going to target every one of these Democrats that they can, especially if they're in a district
and if there's
where they
ever
believe.
a year when the Jewish organizations are going to get involved,
This is it.
this is it.
When your back's up against the wall,
Right.
when you know the world, when you see these protests that we've seen. But what I think it is a side, Logan, that when normal people, and again, that I'm talking, most of the voters there will be Democrat,
Yeah,
the
it's New
Democrat
York.
district. But I'm
Yeah.
saying normal people who are not ideologues, they don't hate other countries if they have no reason to. If they haven't attacked the United States, they don't hate our allies like Israel. They're not anti-Semitic. They see these representatives, and they came out in droves in a primary to unseat an incumbent. These are not easy things to do politically. But when you lose 60-40, he ignored his community, and he was only representing the squad and the anti-Israel wing of the Democrat Party, which is felt like it has been growing. But if we can show that they can be defeated and almost silenced in a way, because when you take away him as a congressman, he loses his whole platform. And that's one less squad member. So you see, I mean, I do think they're not all vulnerable in every district. But in the districts that they are, you will see more and more Democrats. That's why Joe Biden's going to have to walk a very fine line. I mean, and between am I arming Israel but not arming Israel? And how am I
they
going
hung
to do
their
it?
hat on this. I mean, here's AOC at the rally. I mean, what are they hanging their hat on specifically? Anti-Israel. I mean, that is the key topic they thought was going to take them over the top.
Not about the community. Not about like getting better funding to the community in the Bronx or to building schools or education or better jobs, because
they thought
they don't
this
care
was the
about
win.
that.
Let's take a listen. This is AOC.
Are you ready to fight? Are you ready to take this borough back? Are you ready to win on state back? Are you ready to win this country back? And are you ready to fight for peace on earth, a ceasefire in Gaza, and the end? And acknowledging the influence in our politics.
She says, let's go vote. Are you ready? Are you ready? I can't hear you. Goes on this whole thing. He goes, are you ready to fight for a ceasefire in Gaza and something AIPAC and their influence in our politics? So specifically saying, not just are you ready to, she's ready to say, are you taking the state back? Who are we taking the state back from? The Zionists.
Jews.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, the idea is that it doesn't work everywhere, thank God. It's a good sign that we can defeat, and the Democrats can do this internally too, to kind of squelch the voice as much as possible. But we have seen Joe Biden walking a fine line, because while it might not be 60% of the vote yet, it is still getting 40%. And when you're trying to run for president in a very tight election, and you see that Jamaal Bowman still got 40% in that district, and you're Joe Biden and his political team, you're trying to see, how do we keep that other 40% still voting for us? And you do that by saying, well, we're going to send you weapons, but we're going to slow it down based off what your actions are. So if you go into if we're going to tell you how you can use the weapons, which is not really how. I feel like we haven't done that with Ukraine so much. I mean, I feel like we dumped over all these weapons, and that's still going on, and we don't even have like an end game there. In Israel, they said, provide us what we need, and this will be over quicker.
We are right now in the middle of Life Week. Of course, that is our celebration of the 2-year anniversary of the overturning of Roe versus Wade, and it is time for a celebration. It really is. Though the fight continues and is stronger than ever, we are having to get involved in every state, by each state level, get involved, whether that is defending pro-life counselors, sidewalk counselors who are saving people's lives, babies' lives outside of abortion clinics. We are filing a critical amicus brief at the Supreme Court to allow states to defend or to really get involved in this fight. So we want you to be there as well. And as a little token of our appreciation, we know that it's just a pin, a lapel pin. It's really pretty. It's really well done. Supreme Court's a great thing to think about. As Jordan said, it's a great thing just to even hold and say, yes, we had a victory for life that we never thought we would have in our lifetime. We always fought for it, but I'll be honest, I never thought we would have seen the day. I mean, I prayed for it, but it just didn't feel like that's where society was going, and it happened. But now the fight continues. So you can hold this, pray for it, think about us, think about the ACLJ with your prayers, and of course wear it if you have I'm wearing it right now on my collar. You can wear a collar, a lapel pin, whatever it is. It's a great little reminder, and it's for any donation over $60. You'll get this in the mail. So we appreciate that during Life Week. Again, a celebration of life, and that's what we're doing here